Hi everyone and welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of Mighty Moron with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So since you and I were together last in the previous episode, we've had 3 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. So we are higher in the table, the momentum behind us is better, and today we play bottom of the table Almagro. So surely the points are ours, aren't they? Let's get into the episode and find out. Welcome back to Club Deportivo Moron in the Primera B Nacionals of Argentinian football, and things, as I say, have gone pretty good. If we go and have a look at the recent results, you can see that since you and I were together last against All Boys, we've had those couple of draws, 3 wins, 1 loss. The 1 loss was against Rosario Central, who currently sit in 2nd place, so not terrible really, a 2-1 loss to them away from home, but other than that, form has been good. If we go and have a look at the competition page, you can see that means that we're sitting currently in 9th place. And today, our opponents are sitting 18th, bottom of the table, Almagro, with 7 points so far. We've currently got 21, so surely that makes us favourites for today's game, and hopefully we can get another 3 points and really put the pressure on the teams above us. We are only 3 points behind 5th place currently, but also, to be fair, we are only like 4 points away from being in 12th or 13th, so it's very, very tight in the middle of the table so far. But things are improving. The goal scoring still isn't particularly. We've got a couple of players still on 2 goals each now, rather than the 1 goal that we had in the last episode. So people are getting goals, but we've not got that 1 goal scorer that's going to get us probably 20 a season, which is disappointing. We're on the hunt for that, really. But other than that, people are contributing much better than they did. The players are contributing much better. And you can see that overall, in the 2 groups of the Primera B Nacionals, we sit 33rd for goals scored, which is nowhere near good enough, but 13th out of like 36 for goals conceded, which is where we are winning our points from, really. But somewhere along the line, hopefully the dam will burst and we'll get a bucket load of goals and start scoring more regularly. Is that going to be today against Almagro in the Primera B Nacional? Let's go and check out the tactics page and see what we've got in store for them. So, as of last episode, the big change was to change this mentality into a balanced approach rather than the attacking approach. Remember, last season we changed it to attacking because we were performing much higher than above the expectation that was put on us. This season was a really challenging start to the division, so we've just put it back into the balanced and made us less vulnerable. We've dropped our defensive line and our line of engagement down back into the standard approach, and it seems to be doing the world of good. So far we've been much harder to beat, and this rotated side as well has been playing very, very well. You can see that we've got a couple of injuries, and the big one is to Ramirez. Best player of last season was out for 3 months in total, and he's still got 2 of those 3 months to go. It was really unfortunate, but he picked up a hip injury and he's going to be out for a long time. So it's been up to Villalba and Glaby to really take the reins on that right hand side and do the business for us. And so far they've been doing all right, to be honest, along with the rest of the side. Chalky, the youngster, one of my Patreons who got his name in the game, is coming in and playing regularly at the moment, which is really positive. He's not setting the world alight, but he's doing pretty well for who he is. So that's really encouraging. Dordoni, one of our summer signings, who I expected to be a little bit more of a reserve backup type of central defender, has come in and is performing pretty well, to be honest. And so he keeps his place at the moment, which is great to see. Around that though, mostly the starting 11 is the same as it has been for quite some time, with one noticeable difference for this game. I have finally had enough of cherry on top not scoring goals this season. 12 starts, 1 off the sub bench, 1 goal, 1 assist, and it's not good enough. In the non-competitive games at the start of the season, he got 7 in 6. and I thought this was going to be his season to score absolutely tons of goals, and it just hasn't come at all. And so today he is put back onto the bench and Galliano comes into the team. He scored 2 in 3 starts, 5 substitute appearances, so you can see his ratio is a bit better. So we're giving him a chance to really stake a claim for this striking position in our setup. But as I say, other than that, mostly around this, it's been the starting 11 that we played for a while. So for today's game against Almagro, the bottom of the table side, we have Galvin in goal, Gomez and Dordoni in central defence, Brogy at right back, Sanchez at left back, Federico, Cholki and Goodboy in central midfield, with the Angel and Glabby supporting Galliano up top, with a bench of Corzo, Olivier, Goyer, Cranvita, Villalba, Basidas and Cherry on top. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So for the first time in quite a while, we've been able to use the team talk. We are favourites for a reason. Go out there and make sure they're left in no doubt as to why that is. We don't get a chance normally to use that, because normally we are up against some of the better sides in the division. And so today is the day where we can actually go out onto the pitch expecting to win potentially and really giving it a good go. We're away from home, which is always going to be trickier, isn't it? Absolutely it is. But still, even so, I expect a good performance, and so far we haven't really got it, have we? But at 21 minutes, the first highlight of the game, we've not had a shot on goal so far. Can we work an opportunity here? We move it on to Chalky in central midfield, out to Glabby on the right-hand side. The overlapping fullback of Brogy is there, but he doesn't use it. He puts it straight in. The Angel picks up the loose ball on the edge of the penalty box, and we send it back to Sanchez and rebuild again. So that's a good opportunity for us to demonstrate that on the ball we're very good if we get the chances to work our magic, and we'd have on this occasion. Brogy back to Chalky, and there is a goal for our youngster. If you're out there, then this is your guy, then there you go. Chalky, our young guy, 17 years old, not a finished article by any stretch, but one of my Patreons came in and put his name in the game. I promised him some game time here and there where I could. He's actually staked a claim for a first team position regularly because Cranvita has been playing so poorly. And that is what he can do on his day. And so I'm really, really pleased by that. And it set us going in this game where we were looking a little bit shaky. The cross comes in, should I say, from the free kick to the far post. And the header goes looping over the top of the bar on that occasion. But it's been a much better sort of second half to the first half than it was that opening 20 minutes where nothing happened at all. You can see that we've come back in the game in terms of the statistics for the game. 3 attempts, 2 on target now. 55% of the possession of the play, which is really, really good. Away from home for us, so we can go passionately in there and say, I'm happy with your performance, keep it up, send them straight back out, and as soon as we do, we're going to go into the shouts and we're just going to say demand more, just to keep them pushing forward. We cannot afford to rest on what we've got at this point in the game. A little bit later down the line, maybe we will. But just for now, I want them to keep pushing forward. But it is Almagro that are continually pushing at our defence. They've had 7 attempts at goal to our 3. So you can see that they're creating their chances and not putting them away so far. Hopefully on this particular highlight that still remains the case and we can win the ball. There's the long ball. Do we win it? We do, but only temporarily. They regain it in midfield and it looks like they're going to be able to build up a striking opportunity, and they've got down the right hand side, but a good block, really good block from Sanchez, the fullback, and then the ball goes down the wide left hand side to Galliano. He's up on his own. Here comes the support and into Glabby, and a little looping header over the top of the keeper. He scrambles and pokes it over the top of the bar. If it didn't go over on its own, I couldn't quite tell, but really good play there for a little while once we'd got it up to Galliano, and then the Angel gets fouled and Almagro have had a player sent off. So at that point we're going to pause the game just before the free kick is taken, and we're going to see what we can do to increase our chances of getting another goal here. So Gomez comes out in defence just because he wasn't playing well enough. Glabby down that right hand side today, not at his best. Villalba comes in, and unfortunately at this point Galliano hasn't really taken his chance, has he? And so Cherry on top will finish the game. Can we get a goal from him in the last 20 minutes? But before all of that, we get a free kick from the Angel, quite a way out, and it goes for goal, and it hits the side netting, really. Doesn't really challenge the goalkeeper too much, and we stay at 1-0. The changes have been made, though. Can we bring one of our substitutes into the game and maybe get Cherry on top a chance at goal, and he can prove that maybe he should be back in the starting lineup? Because I don't want to leave him out. I think he's a good striker, but at the moment he's just not proving it. Good boy with the ball into Villalba, and it goes loose again, but Brogy's underneath it and takes control of it very nicely. Corzo back in defence. Can we keep the ball and not lose it by silly passing and sort of giving it back to them? We don't. We work it through to Chalky again, onto Federico, and the Angel from the edge of the box takes the ball in his stride, left-footed, and pile drives it into that bottom left-hand corner of the goal. And some really good one-touch football in the midst of that build-up again. Corzo, one touch. There's a one touch from Good Boy. Chalky holds it for a second, and then he finds Federico, one touch again, and one touch on the finish. The Angel, some really good passing and moving in that central midfield area. And we are going to get another really valuable 3 points, and it's going to put us into that mid-table position, which is roughly where I wanted to finish this season, should I say. Not expected to, but wanted to, and gives us another soundboard to really push forward for the second half of the season as we get there. Just as I'm saying that, though, they get a real, hopefully a consolation goal, hopefully off a corner kick. The corner comes in long to the sort of top of the 6-yard box, and they get a header. They get above all of our defenders, and just for a moment made us wonder what was going to happen. But in the end, the 10 men succumbed, and we managed to hold on to the 3 points for the day. 2-1 winners over the bottom side, Almagro. Not the biggest scoreline in the world, but ultimately it's the points that really matter. A very nice win for us. So that's going to help our league position quite considerably. So let's go and analyse the game and see where we won this particular match. So on the summary page, you can see that eventually we were relatively even on shots that we took, but then we overtook them on shots on target in that second half. It was much, much better, and we put the pressure under them for quite a considerable time. It was fairly even in possession, but the average ratings, we just edged it as well, which is great to see. In terms of the focus of our attacks, still, if you can explain this to me, please do so in the comments below. I have set our attack to primarily focus down the right-hand side. I have absolutely 100% done that, with the thought that even if it doesn't go down the right-hand side, it will fall into the central midfield area at least, because that's where we got most of our players. And yet still, 65% of our possession was down the left-hand side. I just don't get it. What more am I supposed to do to get this ball into an area where I really want it to be? I just don't understand at all. I guess actually what they're suggesting, and if you think this is right, let me know, but if you think there's another issue, here is a big part of our heat map, and I suspect what it is actually is the Angel picking up in this position and drifting either left or just behind the striker on the top of the penalty box, and that's where we're getting our possession from. But for whatever reason, it's suggested that he is a left-sided player, even though he's playing on the left side of the centre of midfield, if that makes sense. Other than that, I genuinely don't know how else I'm supposed to get it over into this position a little bit more than I have. There we go. On today's match, it didn't really matter, and the recent form is pretty good, so I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it. I just don't really understand why it's happening in the way it is. Let's have a look at our shots today, and primarily the ones that didn't go on target, which is always what we focus on first. And you can see that there's some long-range shooting that wasn't quite accurate enough, or if it was saved by the goalkeeper more than anything. So if we take these two out for a second and just look at the saved ones, yeah, a couple from outside the area were saved. This one here from Cherry on top in the last few minutes of the game, obviously, was a real point-blank effort that was saved as well. and we had one blocked effort from Galliano as well in the box. So the shots, I think it's just one of those things where on another day, potentially we could have had another couple of goals maybe, but just on today's performance, the goalkeeper managed to do his job, and so did a couple of the defenders here and there. And it was a little bit disappointing just in converting the chances that we created. But the chances were better in the second half. So let's go and have a look at the other thing that we like to look at. And this is a key thing, isn't it? Intercepted passes. Now, I thought our passing game was pretty strong today, but that equal possession percentage that we had, 51 to 49, could be an awful lot better if some of these short passes actually found the target that we were trying to get to them. We have to increase our passing percentage a little bit and just get rid of some of these intercepted ones. Out of play, a little bit more today as well, especially down this left hand side where we had to clear our lines a little bit and just get it out of the way of the oncoming attack, I guess. But there's some really good positives. The key passes for the game are really, really strong. There's some good ones here, all focusing towards that right-hand side, mostly, which is great. We didn't have any specific chance created ones. So, yeah, all in all, I don't think it's terrible. But the other thing I want to have a look at today is, where am I looking for? There I am, and the crosses. And the completed and intercepted crosses. And they are coming more so from the right than the left. But even though our left-hand side is taking up a lot of the play, I do think it's probably the Angel that's confusing the matter. 3 attempts over here to get the ball in, yet his starting position is central. So maybe what I could do is put him right at the head of the top of the diamond in midfield rather than slightly out left. But then we leave ourselves a little bit vulnerable for the counter-attack down this right-hand side maybe. What do you think about that? In the comments below, let me know what you think about what to do with the Angel. Make him more central and that will drive us over to this side, or leave him as he is and just, accept that it's going to be a bit skewed, even though I really want to play down that right-hand side a little bit more than we are. Let me know what you think about that. Anyway, the last thing we'll have a look at is our shots. So we'll just go in and take out the Almagro ones and just concentrate on our own. And actually, it's not too bad today. I mean, I could have done with a few more. Absolutely, we could always do with that. But 3 of them went wide or over the bar. But there's a good spread in the centre of the goal. It's just the goalkeeper was on form to keep them out potentially. Bit unlucky maybe, but there we go. So there we go. It's not too bad a day really. We got a decent 3 points. Even though I'd like a couple more goals. But that's going to pretty much do it for this particular episode on a positive note. Before we go, we're going to go and check in with the league table. Why can't I click that? That's unfortunate. Let's go this way and just go through this particular screen to get to the league table. We've moved up a position, which is great. Puts us a little bit further away from sort of 11th through 13th, which is fantastic. And just puts a little bit of pressure on the teams directly above us. We're now 3 points away from 5th place. So I think we can still continue to put some pressure on maybe if we are consistent in the next few games. But it's going to be a tall order to keep some of this run going. I think we're still going to be inconsistent as the season wears on. But so far, so good. I'm pretty happy with where we are. So let's check out what we're going to come back for next episode. So back on the schedule page, what we're going to come back for is Olimpo, the last game of the calendar year before we go off on our big winter break that we have in Argentinian football. So that's going to be the game that we come back for just to close the year out. The last game of November before December, January, we have a break in. So that will allow me to go through January's transfer window after this episode and come back and update you early in February. Olimpo, I can tell you, at the moment are sitting in 15th while we're in 8th. So again, another good opportunity here to pick up some points. And 1 or 2 games in between time where we could do that as well, hopefully. And just continue this reasonably good run of form that we've had since fairly early on in September. So yeah, let's hope we can do that. So I hope you'll join me for the next episode and continue the journey against Olimpo in the Primera B Nacional. But until next episode, thank you for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community, the more the merrier. Click that like button for me if you can, and it helps me get seen by loads of other people and continues the growth of my channel, which is really important to me. Until next time though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.